Now, this isn't without controversy because this is 2025 and everything is controversial. So let me just read to you a couple of things and have you respond. Some pediatricians are concerned. They say that the rise of animal-heavy diets for infants and toddlers concerns them and perplexes them.
Fox News interviewed Dr. Ken Berry and called him out for having his children eat a carnivore diet. Is Dr. Berry being dangerous, or is he just misunderstood? Let's unpack this together. Hi, I'm Dr. Eric Westman, and welcome to my channel where I review and debunk nutritional misinformation online. And in this Fox News interview, we're going to hear some really startling things about a doctor's family and their response from the general medical community to it. Be sure to wait till the end of the video where you hear my final thoughts.
There's a controversial diet trend. It's taking off on social media, but not just there. The parents of carnivore kids say they've swapped traditional baby foods like pureed fruits and veggies for an all-animal-based approach. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. And one child on the carnivore diet eats bits of egg, shredded cheese, yogurt, and pureed ground beef and chicken liver. She licks butter off a spoon and gets bone broth in her bottle. The toddler, who has 4 teeth, likes to gum ribeye and lamb bones. Some doctors are worried carnivore kids won't get enough vitamins if they cut out whole food groups. And Dr. Ken Berry is a board-certified family physician and the creator of The Proper Human Diet.
Well, before we get to Dr. Berry's interview, food groups, I was looking into the history of this. God did not say, or evolution didn't say, we have these food groups and you must eat them. It was actually a human construct and a governmental construct in the history that I remember learning about food groups, and the American Dietetic Association as well. So to have bread or fruit or having food groups, and you have to have a little bit in each one, I think it was a way to simplify nutrition for people, also promote certain types of foods. But it doesn't bother me if someone's not eating every food group, because this was a man-made construct. It bothers me if someone's not getting all of their vitamins and minerals and nutrients that they need for growth. And that maybe should be the thing to really look at. Is the child growing? Is the human well eating a certain way? Let's see what Dr. Berry has to say.
Is this what you're suggesting, just going back to how we used to do things, or is this a whole new approach?
That's exactly right, Dana. America has a big ultra-processed junk food problem, and carnivore babies is not a new fad. This is actually the original way that humans fed their babies 100 years ago, 500 years, 5,000 years ago. The first foods for a baby when it was ready to wean off the breast was meat, was gnawing on a bone. One of the best things we did for our kids when they were teething and having that pain is we would put rib bones in the freezer and get one out, and they would gnaw all the connective tissue and meat remnants off the bone. It was delicious, and it helped soothe the teething pain. Eating meat, feeding meat to your baby, that's not a new trend. That's the oldest way that humans have always fed their babies.
Well, Dr. Berry has a point, and it's becoming clearer to me as time goes on that what we've lived through, me being, 65-ish, since my upbringing, things were entirely different. I grew up on Fruit Loops and Captain Crunch and these things that were not real foods, And so while it may seem weird, and it certainly seems weird to see children eating foods like that at school to me now, then although for you it might seem weird for someone to eat a hot dog or a burger without a bun, what seems weird, again, is not the important issue here. Is it adequate? Is it, excellent nutrition? And are we getting off track from what really should be feeding our children food that makes them grow and be well and healthy? And so I realize I've been thinking about the keto diet now for 20, 25 years, and carnivore is relatively new, but it's a subset of keto metabolism, and it doesn't seem odd to me, although it might to you. Let me know your comments about that down below. I want to thank our friends at Element for sponsoring today's video. Element has a great mixture of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, everything you need on a keto diet. But specifically, this raw, unflavored version, which is labeled with a blue, teal-colored banner. This teal-colored, raw, unflavored version does not contain stevia, sugar, or any additives except a science-backed mix of 3 electrolytes our bodies need in quantities that have been already measured out for you. This is great for a keto diet, but most important thing is that it tastes great. As you know, electrolytes are really important, especially if you're following a keto or a carnivore diet. Get a free 8-count sample pack of Element's most popular drink mix flavors with any purchase. That's a great way to try it out and to share Element with a friend. Get yours at drinklmnt.com/Eric Westman. This offer is only available at my link, drinklmnt.com/Eric Westman. You'll find that in the description below. Thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video.
Now, this isn't without controversy because this is 2025 and everything is controversial. So let me just read to you a couple of things and have you respond. Some pediatricians are concerned. They say that the rise of animal-heavy diets for infants and toddlers concerns them and perplexes them. Some parents say they're inspired by social media stars, a handful of doctors who are raising their own carnivore babies, rising interest in protein, and concerns about ultra-processed foods are causing some people to look at carnivore-style diets. And again, they just say that they're very concerned.
Yes.
So how would you address their concerns? Are they valid?
Well, no. Many doctors have been very concerned about many things. We remember what happened in 2020, right? Meat is the most nutrient-dense food you can feed your baby. What's not natural is the little puffs and the little treats that big food makes and tries to then tell us and propagandize us into believing is actual human food. It's not. It's a product. It's a commodity. You should never put that junk in your kid's mouth.
And that was surprising to me when I was doing a deep dive into the carnivore type of diet, which is close to what I've been teaching for 20, 25 years, that actually the nutrition is adequate. And I asked people to do reviews of this for me. I've asked now people to show me data of where the nutritional deficiencies are, where, show scurvy happening in someone. There was a recent report of scurvy on a meat diet, but it was out of Japan, and it turned out that person was also eating rice. And so the nutrient needs are different based on what you eat. That's called conditional essentiality. And so you may need more vitamin C if you're eating fruit, for example. And so the idea that you take an allowance or a recommended amount, recommended intake for a human and push it across all types of dietary patterns is not correct. And so when you just look at a one-size-fits-all range of what people should have that the government puts together, some of these will fall out of that range, but it doesn't mean that there's going to be a problem nutritionally. And that's a problem with the way we've been teaching and studying nutrition, where we don't consider the entire organism, the whole human. We don't consider the health of the human. We kind of look at these micronutrient and look at these ranges and basically take, deficiency levels and make sure people aren't deficient, but that can be different based on what people choose to eat. Now, the idea of raising a child without sugar or highly ultra-processed food would be kind of a common sense thing to do, wouldn't it? Tell me if you, like me, were raised with sugar and had sugar addiction, and having to get off that was a problem when you became an adult. Then you may have even had to have weight loss surgery or had diabetes and had to reverse it with a low-carb diet because your consumption of sugar, remember, diabetes is a problem of excess sugar, and excess sugar in the diet gets turned to fat and is the major cause of obesity. So really all of these are from the kind of permissive attitude towards sugar being around and letting kids have it. I mean, it's at the grocery store checkout where you can just always put more candy in your cart there. So I don't know. I don't think Dr. Berry is so far off. Let me know what you think down below.
Okay, Dr. Berry, let me ask you one other thing. Does it matter where you get the meat, how it's raised? Should you be looking at that?
It matters a little bit, but for people with limited means, just remember this truism. Any meat is better than no meat. There is no such thing as a proper human diet for a human of any age that does not contain meat and eggs. They are essential. They're the bedrock of the human diet.
Well, this is good news for me. This is how I like to eat. Thank you so much, Dr. Cranberry.
Yes.
We appreciate it and hope we have you back someday.
So that last question had to do with, do you have to have very expensive, do you have to have organic, do you have to have grass-fed, grass-finished beef, for example? No, he basically said that's a small part of the picture. And I agree with that. I have seen people get tremendous benefits by just not eating carbs at a fast food restaurant. Doesn't matter which one it is. And so you can take the tools that you have, you can meet people where they are, where they like to eat, and what kinds of foods. And I would say that red meat is not the only source of meat that you could have on a carnivore type of diet. The chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, these are all great sources of protein. And so it's fascinating that, the internet teaches by the extreme. And so pop culture loves extremes, and the carnivore diets kind of hit a chord or note in folks because it is so effective in reversing type 2 diabetes, reversing obesity, and there may be a signal that it reverses autoimmune problems, inflammatory bowel disease, that sort of thing. There are lots of anecdotes that are percolating into research studies, and which is really important to formalize this kind of internet or even grassroots or clinical information that we see. So hats off to Dr. Berry, and I know Dr. Berry. I've been invited to his meetings, and I think he, like many influencers, has that personal experience himself as a weight loss journey, a doctor who was teaching the alternate approach that wasn't helping many people, wasn't helping him. And now he's putting on conferences to bring people together and to go out there on a limb into the national media. I think it takes some courage, and I think he's doing a great job in that regard. Dr. Berry asked me to be part of the American Diabetes Society, which is a new organization that's trying to get the word out that diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is reversible. So if you're interested in that group, looking for the American Diabetes Society, and Dr. Berry, myself, Dr. Hampton, Tony Hampton, we're all part of this group, it's just a brand new group, but trying to get the message out that type 2 diabetes is reversible with many different approaches, including a keto carnivore approach. Well, I hope you like this video, and if you do, please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Look out for new content on Wednesdays and Fridays. If you enjoyed this video, consider joining our YouTube membership for early access and exclusive live Q&As with me. Just click the Join button below, or support us with a PayPal in the description.